My name is Karunia and I will tell you about what is coronavirus and transmission and symptoms about coronavirus, evaluation and the role of government and society to coronavirus. Okay, in December 2019, Wuhan, Hubei province, China became the center of an outbreak of pneumonia of unknown cause, which raised intense attention not only within China but also internationally. By the 7th January 2020, China's scientists had isolated a novel coronavirus from infected patients in Wuhan. This strain of coronavirus became officially known as the Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2 or SARS-CoV-2, and also referred to as 2019, and CoV is a beta coronavirus, as are the viruses that cause severe acute respiratory syndrome or SARS and Middle East Respiratory Syndrome or MERS. This virus is zoonotic, it means transmit between animal to human, and have their origin in pets. Most people become infected with this virus at some point in their life, and usually the duration of illness is short. However, a comprehensive clinical picture of COVID-19 is still not entirely clear. Cases of COVID-19 are no longer linked to Wuhan, with the increasing number of cases and widening geographic spread raising grave concern about the future trajectory of the outbreak. Consequently, the COVID-19 epidemic has led to the implementation of extraordinary public health measures to reduce further spread of the virus within China and elsewhere. Okay, and transmission and symptoms. COVID-19 is spread due to close person-to-person contact via coughing and sneezing, similar to the transmission of influenza and other respiratory pathogens. People with cardiopulmonary complaints, weak immune system, infant, the older adults are more prone to COVID-19. Symptoms of COVID-19 include sneezing, cough, sore throat, fever, head change, and feeling of being unwell, which may appear in a few days or as long as 14 days or 2 weeks after exposure to the virus. Lower respiratory tract ailments such as pneumonia, bronchitis may sometimes be caused by human coronavirus. COVID-19 symptoms are often mild, with 20% of infection progressing to severe disease such as pneumonia, respiratory failure, and in some cases death. Take-home message: keep up to date with information or recommendation from the WHO, CDC, and other organizations about coronavirus or COVID-19, a new, rapidly spreading and potentially serious coronavirus infection of global concern. Take measures to prevent the transmission and thwart the spread of this virus. Focus treatment on relieving the symptoms and preventing serious outcomes, as there is no specific antiviral therapy. Be aware that pharmacists have a crucial role in proactively providing other healthcare professionals and the public with information and recommendations for preventing, detecting, treating, managing, and controlling coronavirus infection. Encourage collaboration between healthcare professionals to detect and refer new suspect case of COVID-19 to the relevant healthcare authority, as well as to improve patient care and safety. In the evaluation, most countries are utilizing some type of clinical and epidemiologic information to determine who should have testing performed. In the United States, criteria have been developed for person under investigation or PUI for COVID-19. According to the US CDC, most patients with confirmed COVID-19 have developed fever and are symptoms of acute respiratory illness. If a person is a PUI, it is recommended that practitioner immediately put in place infection control and prevention measure. Initially, they recommend testing for all other sorts of respiratory infection. The WHO recommend collecting specimens from both the upper respiratory tract, nasal and oropharynx samples, and lower respiratory tract such as expectorate sputum, endotracheal aspirate, and bronchoalveolar lavage. The collection of BAL samples should only be performed in mechanical ventilated patients, as lower respiratory tract samples seems to remain positive for a more extended period. The samples require storage at 4 degrees Celsius in the laboratory. Amplification of the genetic material extracted from the saliva or mucus sample is through a reverse polymerase chain reaction or RT-PCR, which involves the synthesis of a double-stranded DNA molecule from an RNA mold. Once the genetic material is sufficient, the search is for those portions of the genetic code of the COV that are conserved. The probes used are based on the initial gene sequence released by the Shanghai Public Health Clinical Center School of Public Health. The University Shanghai China on virological org, and subsequent confirmatory evaluation by additional labs. If the test result is positive, it is recommended that the test is repeated for verification. In patients with confirmed COVID-19 and diagnosis, the laboratory evaluation should be repeated to evaluate for viral clearance prior to being released from observation. The availability of testing will vary based on which country a person lives in, with increasing availability occurring nearly daily. And deterrence and patient education. Patients and families should receive instruction to avoid close contact with subjects suffering from acute respiratory infection, wash their hands frequently, especially after contact with sick people or other environment. Avoid unprotected contact with farm on wild animal. People with symptoms of acute airway infection should keep their distance, cover cough or sneeze, and disable, disab, disposable disposable tissue or clothes and wash their hands. Immunocompromised patients should avoid public exposure and public gathering. Even immunocompromised individuals must be in a closed space with multiple individuals present, such as a meeting in a small room. Mask, gloves, and personal hygiene with antiseptic soap should be Antiseptic agents should be undertaken and performed before exposure. However, considering the danger involved to this individual, exposure should be avoided. Useless meeting group even ATC is a true emergency. Strict personal hygiene measures are necessary for the prevention and control of this infection and disease. The role of government and society. The role of government and dealing with COVID-19. First, act decisively during this lockdown. 2. Move the community to the social distancing. 3. Conducting rapid tests on the community, especially for the medical staff, high-risk communities such as the patient family, patient relative, and others. 4. Also pay attention to the needs of the underprivileged, because the impact of the holding of this lockdown is a massive reduction in labor, so that many of the people today are short of food. And for the community, please stay quiet at home. Enjoy time with family. Don't leave the house if it's not too important. Appeal from the government to do social distancing. Please listen. And most people also know that the situation is boring out, but we must restrain our selfishness. This is not only for ourselves but also for the people we love. Don't go home first, because we don't know what we bring to our families in the village. Avoid mass gathering. Do everything at home. We can fight this corona together, because not only the government has an important role in preventing this spread COVID-19, but also me, you, and us all. For those of you who take advantage of the situation in the midst of an epidemic like this, please open your eyes and open your heart too. Wearing masks and all personal protection equipment for the medical of something for that is not commendable. For patients, try to be honest with the medical people. Don't be afraid, because if you are dishonest, that it will not only endanger yourself but also your family, medical staff, and surrounding community. And I say many thanks to the medical who are in the front. Thank you.